What if losing someone didn't happen all at once, but slowly, piece by piece, right in front of you? That's the reality Gabrielle Union just opened up about, and her words hit way deeper than anyone expected. Because this wasn't just about death. It was about watching someone disappear while they're still here, and the way she described it left people shaken. It all started with a message that didn't feel like a typical celebrity tribute. Gabrielle revealed that her father, Sylvester Cully Union Jr., had passed away at the age of 81, and while many expected a simple goodbye, what she shared went far beyond that. Instead of just remembering his life, she pulled back the curtain on something raw and deeply personal. Something many families go through, but rarely talk about openly. And that's exactly why her words spread so quickly and connected with so many people. But the real story didn't begin with his passing. It started years earlier, when everything began to change. Her father had been diagnosed with dementia, a condition that doesn't just affect memory, but slowly reshapes a person entirely. And by 2023, his condition had worsened to the point where he needed full-time memory care. That's when Gabrielle found herself facing something, she says, no one can ever truly be prepared for. She described it as a painfully slow disappearing, and those words stuck because they captured something so real and unsettling. At first, it was small things, repeating words, forgetting little details, moments that seemed easy to overlook. But then, almost suddenly, everything began to shift. He lost abilities that once felt automatic, and the changes didn't feel gradual anymore. They felt abrupt and overwhelming. One moment things seemed manageable, and then the next, he couldn't walk the same way, couldn't swallow properly, couldn't function like he used to, and the hardest part wasn't just the physical decline. It was watching the person she knew slowly fade away. She explained how the person you know gets smaller and smaller, and that line resonated deeply because it describes something many people feel but struggle to put into words. Even the smallest moments started to mean everything. A brief eye contact, a faint smile, a simple hand squeeze. And each one brought a wave of hope that maybe, just maybe, he could come back to how he once was. But those moments became rarer, and the reality became harder to ignore. Still, she made it clear that the illness didn't define him, because before all of this, he was someone full of life. Sylvester was known as a man who never met a stranger, someone who could walk into any room and instantly connect with people, turning strangers into friends within minutes. He was the kind of person who brought energy wherever he went, the life of the party, someone who loved music, loved traveling, and loved being surrounded by family and friends. He was also a passionate sports fan, especially devoted to his team, and those shared moments became part of the memories Gabrielle holds onto. More importantly, he passed down values that shaped her life. Lessons about teamwork, about working hard, and about taking care of others, especially those who might be struggling. But what made her tribute stand out even more was her honesty about their relationship. She didn't describe him as perfect. Instead, she called him perfectly imperfect. And that honesty added a deeper layer to the story. She shared that he made mistakes, like any human being. But what mattered was that he acknowledged them, apologized, and worked to make things right, no matter how long it took. That kind of accountability isn't something you often hear in public tributes, and it made her words feel even more genuine. She made it clear that no one in his life was ever left behind or made to feel unseen, and that says a lot about the kind of man he chose to be. But behind the emotional moments and memories, there was another reality unfolding, one that many people don't see when it comes to situations like this. As his condition progressed, the responsibility of care became heavier, not just emotionally but financially as well. Gabrielle opened up about the challenges of navigating nursing homes, insurance coverage, and the cost of long-term care, revealing that these pressures even influenced her career decisions. She admitted that she had to think carefully about where the money was coming from, because the cost of care adds up quickly, and that's a reality many families face, but rarely hear discussed by public figures. It showed a different side of her life, one that felt grounded and relatable, far from the glamorous image people often associate with celebrities. And then came the moment that every family in this situation eventually faces. When her father passed, Gabrielle described feeling something that might seem confusing at first. Relief. Not because she wanted him gone, but because the pain he was experiencing had finally come to an end. At the same time, there was a deep and overwhelming heartbreak, because this time, the loss was final. No more waiting for recognition. No more hoping for small moments of connection. Just the reality that he was truly gone. Her words resonated far beyond her own story, drawing responses from people like Aja Naomi King and Robin Thede, but more importantly, from countless others who saw their own experiences reflected in her message. Because in the end, this wasn't just about one family's loss. It was about something millions of people go through, often in silence. Gabrielle Union's story is a reminder that losing someone doesn't always happen in a single moment. Sometimes it happens slowly, in pieces, long before the final goodbye. And that's what makes it so difficult to process. It's about holding on to love, even as memories fade, about finding strength in the smallest moments, and about learning how to say goodbye more than once. And maybe the hardest part of all is realizing that even when someone is still physically there, you can already feel them slipping away, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.